I thought I was doing everything right. I was tracking my calories. I was spending hours in the gym, putting all of this effort in just to hit a plateau after building a little bit of muscle and not getting anywhere. And it's really because I wasn't optimizing a lifestyle and diet around my hormonal health. My hormones were just absolutely terrible. And even though progress happened to work for a little bit, I put on a little bit of muscle and I plateaued. I ended up getting absolutely nowhere because I was following all of this mainstream stuff that everyone tells you to do. Everyone tells you to eat chicken and rice, tells you to track your calories, tells you to spend a bunch of time in the gym working out. And that's what I was doing. I really thought this is exactly what I was supposed to be doing to get jacked, to get shredded, to look absolutely insane. But that wasn't working for me. I was getting absolutely nowhere. And after so many years doing this, just convincing myself that if I just keep doing this, I'm going to make progress. If I just keep doing what I'm supposed to be doing, I'm going to just get jacked over time. But I was barely getting anywhere for multiple years. And after so long, I finally realized progress does not come from that lifestyle. It does not come from these habits and this diet that I'm implementing every single day. So so I would convince myself that I was actually making progress, and it was just my body not responding the way it was supposed to, or just maybe not at the moment responding how I expected. I thought maybe I just need to keep doing it, keep staying consistent. Effort was never a problem for me. Discipline was never a problem. I always had my mind set on a specific thing and I would keep doing it. Like I would hit my meals, I'd hit my protein, my macros, I would never miss a workout, and I would stay so consistent, but still with all this effort, with all this discipline, getting absolutely nowhere. And it was because I was following all of this mainstream stuff. Like I said, was tracking every single calorie. I was eating clean all the time. What I thought was clean: chicken, rice, some pasta, these fake proteins, this processed powder, these all of these protein bars just to hit my protein goals because I cared so much about just macros and protein when I didn't realize there is so much more to nutrition, to dieting, than just purely this clean diet that I thought was perfect. And I would spend hours in the gym because I thought maybe the more that I'm working out, the more sets, the more reps that I'm doing, the bigger I was going to get. But all that did was end up making me hit this plateau. And as you can see, I was ignoring all of these big signs that I just thought maybe were normal, maybe just part of the process. I was holding on to this stubborn body fat. I was inflamed. I was constantly fatigued, low energy. I would rely on energy drinks, on pre workout, so much caffeine just to get me through my workout because I'd wake up tired. I'd be tired all throughout the day unless I'm taking some sort of stimulant to boost my energy temporarily. But this was not at all how I should be living. This is not the lifestyle. This is not the diet that I should be doing to get to where I wanted to be. This is why I stayed stuck for so long, even though I was putting in the effort that I thought I should be putting in, but I wasn't putting it in to the right diet, to the right lifestyle. And that's why I was in this plateau for multiple years, wasting my time in the gym, wasting my time training, wasting my time. And that's when I finally realized, after so long, so much time put into this, that I needed to change something. This is not the way that I'm going to make progress. So, and I finally developed this system that just completely changed everything for me. I knew what I was doing was just not at all working for me, even though all of these people on the internet are saying, do these things and you will get jacked. But it just, I was getting nowhere. I hit a plateau and I was wasting so much time, and I didn't want to waste any more time when I knew I had the ambition to put the effort in and put the discipline, because like I said, that was never a problem. I just needed to have the right information. So I started doing more research to see what actually works and started learning about so many different things. I just dived so deep into learning and learning. I wanted to know more about everything. And That's when I just completely changed my nutrition. I completely changed my training, started training smarter instead of longer. I started cutting out all of these bad habits that I knew were just holding me back. And I created this system that changed it all. It just completely transformed how I was doing everything. And the base of this system was nutrition. I cut out the ultra processed foods, no more fake proteins, no more of these protein bars, no more no more of this protein that just wasn't actually being used in my body. I started prioritizing micronutrients and cholesterol and these quality healthy fats. I used to think that eating more fat is going to make me fatter, so I would just completely avoid fats and try to minimize it as much as possible. But in the end, that was a huge thing holding me back. So I started optimizing my macros to completely max out my hormones, to strengthen my hormonal health and increase my testosterone. And then I started focusing on training. I used to spend hours in the gym. I was doing 20 sets per muscle group. This was completely overtraining. And I started prioritizing progressive overload, high intensity training, compound movements, and I just completely optimized my training, and now I literally spend less time in the gym but make way more gains than I ever have been. And I also optimized my sleep. I started diving deeper into getting quality deep sleep because while you're sleeping, that is when your hormones are resetting. That's when your testosterone is at its highest. It's just so important to optimize your sleep. I created a consistent sleep schedule. I minimized artificial light and I developed that deep sleep every single night because that is when you're recovering, that is so important. Most people don't realize how important sleep really is. And there's so many things you can do and so many things you can cut out to max out your deep sleep, to actually recover and actually build that muscle and strengthen your hormones. So I changed my lifestyle. I optimized low cortisol movement throughout the day. I started managing my stress levels and I just limited out the endocrine disruptors. And this is just really so important because there's so many things in the environment nowadays that you really do have to avoid. You really do have to cut out to optimize your hormones completely because all these small things that move the needle that you may not realize at first and holding you back from maxing out your hormonal health, maxing out your performance, just maxing out your overall health. And this is exactly what I'm going to go much deeper into next. So, why does optimizing your hormones actually change everything? So, this is just a quick graph that explains the compounding inputs compared to the hormonal outputs. Now, when you have dialed down the nutrition with the whole nutrient dense foods, the sleep quality and your circadian rhythm, your stress management, and avoiding endocrine disruptors and just any environmental toxins, and then your androgen availability, the more consistent you are and the more dialed in you are with every single one of these, the more hormonal results you're going to get and the more results you'll get in every single other aspect with your physique, just with your life in general. So, what exactly are the daily inputs that you should be putting in? So the first thing is nutrient dense foods. You want to be prioritizing quality fats and quality proteins like steak, like beef, just any type of red meat, and then eggs and raw dairy. This should be the base of your diet. And you really want a nutrient dense diet. The nutrients in your food are what actually is used in your body, the zinc, the magnesium, just all of these nutrients. This is what's actually important, not just the calories, the fats, and the protein, the nutrients in your diet. So prioritizing nutrient dense foods. And then cholesterol. Cholesterol is literally a raw material and building block for your hormones. You need cholesterol and you want to be eating foods rich in cholesterol. So having a diet rich in quality proteins, quality fats that are micronutrient dense and rich in cholesterol. This is going to be so important. So next is sleep quality. This is very important. You need to be optimizing your deep sleep. This is when your hormones reset. It's when your testosterone is produced. So you can do this by getting a consistent 7 to 9 hours every single night, waking up around the same time every day, going to bed around the same time every day. This is going to affect your circadian rhythm alignment. And then by doing things like getting sunlight in your eyes every single morning, this is going to set your circadian rhythm, which tells your body that it's time to be awake and just give you real stable energy all throughout the day. So, optimizing your circadian rhythm in deep sleep quality is very, very important. Next is managing your stress. So, managing your cortisol. Your cortisol is at its highest at the very beginning of the day and then slowly goes down until the very end of the day when it's at its lowest. And you want to avoid spiking your cortisol at any point in the day, especially in the morning and especially before bed. So you can do this by optimizing your light environment right when you wake up and right before bed. Just be in a dim lit environment. Don't be around too much artificial light, and especially don't be blasting your eyes with blue light. So red light glasses can make a very, very big difference. Just avoiding any type of blue light and avoiding any type of strong artificial light right in the morning and right before bed will keep your cortisol in a stable area. So next is low intensity movement. In low intensity movement, like walking or hiking or stretching, will support your recovery while avoiding any type of cortisol spike. And your brain manages cortisol too. So managing your stress levels, managing your focus, staying calm throughout the day will also help with your overall cortisol and stress management. And like I said, you just want to avoid any type of cortisol spike throughout the day because when your cortisol spikes, this can suppress your testosterone, which you very, very much want to avoid. And next is endocrine disruptors and any type of environmental toxin. You want to be avoiding these at all costs. So first is plastic, like plastic water bottles, plastic containers. These have BPA's, bisphenol A. This is a chemical used to harden plastic, and it leaches into your food, it leaches into your drinks, especially when heated up. So you want to be avoiding these at all costs. You can switch out the water bottles for stainless steel, you can switch out the containers for glass. And next is pesticides. This is a chemical in foods that can mimic estrogen and disrupt your endocrine system. So you can avoid these by doing things like choosing the organic option when it comes to the fruits that you're getting, especially with berries. Berries are much higher in pesticides than other fruits because bugs love berries. So farmers will have to spray more and more pesticides to keep the bugs away from those berries. So choose the organic options when you are able to. Now, next is ultra processed foods. Obviously, you want to be avoiding these at all costs. This is a huge endocrine disruptor. Any type of ultra processed food is not going to be doing any type of good for your body. So avoid ultra processed food at all cost. And finally, androgen availability. This determines how effectively your body actually uses testosterone. So by doing things like reducing inflammation as much as you possibly can is going to be very, very important. So avoiding seed oils, avoiding obviously any type of ultra processed food. You should be cooking in animal fats like butter, like tallow, like ghee, or even a quality extra virgin olive oil. So next is free testosterone compared to total testosterone. Free testosterone is the testosterone your body is actually able to use. You want to be having as much free testosterone as you possibly can. In SHBG, sex hormone binding globulin, binds to testosterone, making it inactive. So the more SHBG you have, the less testosterone your body is actually able to use. So you want to be lowering SHBG, and you can do this by doing things like lifting heavy, eating quality healthy fats, maintaining key vitamins like vitamin D, like magnesium, like zinc, and just having an overall good diet with quality habits and good training. And then androgen receptors. Stronger androgen receptors let your testosterone actually work. So by doing things like lifting heavy, eating the right foods, prioritizing your micronutrients, sleeping well, and minimizing any type of environmental toxin will strengthen your androgen receptors and improve your androgen availability. So once you have all of these dialed in, once you actually are able to stay consistent over time and compound all of these over time, what actually happens? So your testosterone increases, your cortisol actually regulates stably. It stays low when it's supposed to be low, it stays high when it's supposed to be high, and your androgen receptor signaling is optimized. And once all of these things come together, all of the results compound over time through lots of consistency and doing all of the right things. And what actually happens? You get a leaner physique because your hormones are all working optimally. So your body naturally shreds fat and naturally builds muscle. You have higher libido, higher energy all throughout the day. And this is real stable energy. This is not the type of energy that you get from quick stimulants and caffeine. This is actual energy. And then you have improved muscle recovery. You have so much better sleep quality and you have overall vitality. And you just have an improved overall life in every single aspect. And you actually get the results that you have been looking for the longest time, because when your hormones are actually regulating optimally, that is when your body can function properly and function at its absolute best. And that is when the results all come. So, after everything that I've kind of talked about today, your food, your sleep, your stress, avoiding environmental toxins, maximizing your androgen availability, this isn't about obviously one quick hack. These are a bunch of things you have to dial in that compound over time through consistency and doing the right things. And you should really start doing this as soon as you possibly can. The quicker you get into compounding these over time and optimizing your hormonal health, the quicker you will see the results that you are actually looking for. Now, if you're ready to take this a step further and actually implement it into your own lifestyle, your own hormones, your energy, your results, and build muscle and shred fat and just get exactly to where you want to be, you can book a free call with me that is linked in my bio. We can see if you're a good fit for my one-to-one coaching program. But that is everything. Thank you guys so much for watching.